Fred runs his own landscaping business.
Yeah, with my two brothers.
They take their business very seriously.
Sure do.
Fred traded up to commercial auto insurance from Geico for serious customized coverage that grows as his business does, all for seriously low rates.
All right, so when's it gonna happen? You know, the big Geico surprise.
I'm sorry?
Some hair metal band. Are they gonna jump out of those bushes?
No, this is a serious Geico ad.
That pyro was pretty cool, though.
Get more with Geico Commercial Insurance. Trade up today at geico.com/commercial. This is Robert.
Hey there.
Robert is an over-the-road trucker. He takes his business very seriously.
Yes, I do.
Robert traded up to Geico for serious commercial coverage, insuring not just his truck, but his cargo too, all for seriously low rates, with serious savings for his inspection history.
So, they're gonna be a talking animal with a catchphrase like a armadillo?
What the armadillo?
There he is.
No, this is a serious Geico ad.
Aww.
Get more with Geico Commercial Insurance. Trade up today at geico.com/commercial. Miles here is an electrician running wiring for this new home build.
Good morning.
Miles doesn't have time for funny business.
I guess.
Miles traded up to serious commercial auto insurance from Geico for customized coverage that grows with his business, all for seriously low rates.
So, where's the Geico surprise cameo?
Come again?
You know, like some big, famous football player or something. He's gonna bust through that wall, isn't he?
No, this ad is serious business.
Guys, get over here. You gotta see this.
No, there's nothing funny over here. Sorry. Get more with Geico Commercial Insurance. Trade up today at geico.com/commercial.
You're listening to LSU Daily with Matt Musso, your home for all things LSU sports.
Off and running here on another edition of LSU Daily. Welcome in. Glad to have you with me. Hope everyone had a happy, safe, and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Now we push forward towards LSU's bowl game against Baylor New Year's Eve, 2:30 p.m. Central in the Texas Bowl. We'll have plenty of time to continue to talk about that. Today, do want to pass along a few updates in the transfer portal for the Tigers, what the outlook, how the outlook remains for LSU as they go through this final stretch of bowl season, as well as entering the offseason, the spring, and then obviously you'll have another portal window there. So it's quieted down a little bit for the Tigers, but why that's actually seems like it's part of the plan for the Tigers. We'll talk about that a little bit here as well. And if time permits, a little bit of a notion on the bowl game and just positions to kind of watch for LSU where they might be their most thin or inexperienced as they head into the Texas Bowl versus Baylor. So subscribe, share, all of those things greatly appreciated. Follow me on social media as well. Twitter X at Musso Matthew. And then, of course, Instagram at Matthew Musso 1. You can find me on Facebook as well. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. We'll start transfer portal. So if you were paying attention on your Christmas holiday, some of you, of course, might still be on your Christmas holiday, you probably saw on Christmas Eve that safety Tawfiq Byard committed to Colorado. LSU was in the mix. Byard obviously stopped by campus, had an official visit, spent 2 days on campus with the Tigers, got to meet the coaches, got to watch bowl practice, all of those things. I mean, he took the full-on, roll out the red carpet, official visit, ends up choosing Colorado over the Tigers and Vanderbilt as well. If you don't remember really who Tawfiq Byard was, he was a, bit under the weather there. Pardon. If you do not remember who Tawfiq Byard is, he was a transfer safety out of South Florida, had 3 years of eligibility remaining, really took a jump in 2024, getting the 54 tackles, had an interception, a pair of sacks, like kind of redshirted his first season and then really took the jump when he slid in. So a productive player, but he will play in Boulder, not in Baton Rouge. So what does this mean for LSU? Because we all know that safety is, top of everybody's list right now for the Tigers, really along with offensive line. And you have not landed a safety. You've been in on a couple, you've missed out on both. Kind of heavily in on a couple, right? The other one, Zachariah Poyser, he ended up at Miami. LSU felt pretty good there. They were one of the teams to beat. And Miami was able to accomplish that. And now Byard heads out to play for Coach Prime. It's a twofold conversation with LSU and safety right now. Because you're going to get one. The question is, are you going to get the plug-and-play starter that you've had at each position you've really went out and grabbed, right? Like Nick Anderson at receivers coming in and playing. Bauer Sharp at tight end is coming in and playing day one. The edges, right? Patrick Payton is going to start day one for LSU at edge. Everybody looks at Mansour Delane and expects him to come in and start probably day one at cornerback, at least compete. And look, he's versatile. He can play some safety as well. But that's really what you've looked at. Braylon Moore. Everyone expects Braylon Moore to come in and start day one at LSU at center. That's why this class has been so heralded, not just because of the production that you've brought to campus, not just because of the highly ranked transfers, but because it looks like you've gone out and just grabbed day one immediate impact, plug-and-play starter after starter after starter after starter. And the longer this goes at safety, I can understand where some are like, man, those guys are becoming few and far in between. Might you not land one of those and you're just stuck where you are at safety? And look, I don't want to say stuck in a negative connotation. But I also don't know if Tawfiq Byard was that immediate plug-and-play guy. LSU has a lot of need at safety. You got to throw in the star position, too, because Major Burns is out of eligibility. Could Byard have come in and played there immediately? Sure. But Tawfiq Byard's still a young player. Now, was he more experienced than the young guys that you have? Absolutely. He just played a full year of college football, at the Division I level, Group of 5, but at the FBS level, and performed really well. But again, that's just one full year. When you look at LSU's safety room right now, you're looking at a lot of inexperience. I mean, you're looking at Deshaun Spears, who played in 12 games but 3 starts. You're looking at Javen Toviano, who they've permanently moved to safety now, who played in 12 games but no starts, and the snap counts weren't very high. Sophomore. Spears is a freshman. Joel Rogers, freshman, played in just 1 game. Austin Osbury, sophomore, played in 11 games, only the 1 tackle. I mean, you're looking at, and then, of course, look, you have Jordan Gilbert, who, is your veteran guy, and obviously will start the bowl game for LSU and things of that nature. But you're looking at still a lot of youth and inexperience. And, again, I'll say Byard was definitely a more proven option than what you had when it comes to your inexperience, but the guy still redshirted 1 year, played a full year, and had 3 years left. There was still development that needed to take place. That's not totally what I'm looking for LSU at safety. Not to say he couldn't have helped, not to say he couldn't have started it and been great. Of course he could have. But what I'm looking for at safety for LSU is what you've seen them go get everywhere else. A multi-year starter, a guy who you can stick in there day one and can succeed. And I'm just not sold that was Tawfiq Byard. Very productive player, all of those things, athletic, upside, all of them. But he was not nearly as proven as the other guys that you brought in. So you'll move on from there. The other thing to keep an eye on is that LSU's other big need of position, and that's along the offensive line. And a name that everyone has really been talking about is Josh Thompson, offensive lineman out of Northwestern. And that's a guy who's one of the top-ranked offensive linemen in the portal, versatile, again, power conference experience at both guard and tackle, starter at Northwestern, really proven guy. The type of guy that we were just talking about that LSU's gone into the portal and gotten time and time again. Well, it looks like his mind is pretty much made up. On Christmas Eve, Pete Nakos from On3 logged his expert prediction for Tennessee as the favorite to land offensive lineman Josh Thompson out of Northwestern. Things can happen. It's never, fully done until it's fully done, right? And even then, it's not always fully done. You can always get a release from your agreement if your situation so warrants it. But I would caution you here, and this isn't LSU didn't really want him. Like, that's a narrative that always gets tossed around in recruiting when your school does not land the guy they were after. That's not what I'm going for here. And I'll illustrate that point here momentarily. Because the question now is, all right, Tawfiq Byard's off to Colorado. Seems like Josh Thompson, everything's pointing towards Tennessee. Those are two of your biggest needs remaining. No, those are your two biggest needs remaining in the portal. And it feels like it's getting late early now, right? After LSU had all the success they had early, it feels now like it's, all right, wait a minute, where's that? Well, Brian Kelly talked about that when he met with the media on last Saturday and was asked about the early success in the portal and kind of where they go here. And he talked about playing the long game.
No, we had a pretty clear plan in terms of where we wanted to be. I think we probably, we probably got there quicker, earlier. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer, because again, you have 5 days after your last game. Even though the portal closes on the 28th, you still have those 5 days after your last game. So, we thought that this would be longer, and it still might. There's some teams that are still playing that guys have yet to make decisions, so this could go a little bit longer for us as well.
It's the end of that cut. It's the end of that bite, the end of that quote that is significant. He talks about having the 5 days after your last game. The portal closes on the 28th, but some teams play later in the season than others. And you have 5 days after, and it just really extends the portal window to after bowl games. And he says there's some guys still playing that they're aware of that haven't made their decision. Guys potentially in the college football playoff, guys who are just still playing their bowl. That's why when you look at this and you see Tawfiq Byard head off to Colorado, you see Josh Thompson likely heading to Tennessee, you take a step back and you go, okay, wait a minute. They had a clear plan of where they wanted to be. And look, y'all, that you have no reason right now to not trust Brian Kelly and this LSU staff in the transfer portal. They have done every single thing that they said they were going to do. Every promise that they put forth, they have met. They have been aggressive. They have paid out. They have went and got starters, plug and play, immediate day one guys to help make LSU a championship contender in 2025. They have built the roster how they need to in order to do that. Now they have to go play and win the games in 25 and execute and gel and all of those things. But in the portal, they have done exactly what they said they were going to do. So you should have no real reason to not trust them right now in this portal cycle. And Brian Kelly just told you right there, look, it even came together a little quicker than we thought, but we had a specific plan that we wanted to execute, and they still do. Now, you just might play the waiting game a little bit longer because there's players they have their eye on that they know are considering entering the portal after the season on teams that are still playing. And some of the best teams are the ones left playing. And that will continue as you get deeper and deeper into the college football playoff and into bowl season. And honestly, that includes LSU as well. LSU still has one more game to play, the Texas Bowl. And one of the things we've talked about, and the little bit that we've talked about that game here, is the excitement to see a lot of the young guys in game action. No one here is really interested in the outcome of this game. I'm not going to say, I shouldn't say nobody. You want LSU to win and those things, but we all understand what bowl games are now. You're interested in watching those younger players, and there's going to be a lot of them, including at positions of need. We went through safety. Same thing's going to happen on the offensive line. You have a chance to evaluate those guys in game action and see where they are and how you go forth, along with guys who enter the portal after 5 days after their last game in that 5-day window. And then you can hop in there. And there's going to be safeties, there's going to be tackles, and they're going to be really good players. And LSU, when they find someone that they like, they will go full in on. And given their trends in this portal cycle, I expect it to be day one, immediate, plug-and-play starters with a lot of veteran experience. And you should too, because that's what they've shown throughout this cycle. And that should be your expectation now. So we'll see. We'll see how they finish this out. But it seems like they're set to play the long game here going forward. Brian Kelly, also in that media availability last Saturday, mentioned that, the number now probably around 15. We had heard 12. He had said 12. Now it's maybe more around 15 transfers. Well, you're at 13 right now. That leaves 2 spots. And again, that number is subject to change, right? But 2 spots, 1 for each of your biggest remaining needs, safety and offensive tackle. We'll keep a close eye on it and see how they go ahead and go after it and get it done. All right, that is actually going to wrap us up for today. I have to vacate the studio that I'm in. So we will talk bowl game and thinner positions, most inexperienced positions in the game for LSU on the next show. Be sure to subscribe, share, follow on social media. All that greatly appreciated. Again, hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and I appreciate you being here as we steamroll towards the new year here on LSU Daily.
At Kroger Pharmacy, care is what's most convenient for you. Care is being here when you need us. We're open evenings and weekends. Care is helping you save more. Most insurance plans and discount cards are accepted at your local Kroger Pharmacy. Care is saving you time by managing your prescriptions online. You can request refills, check order status, and more. Care is convenience that works for everyone. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Services and availability vary by location. Age and other restrictions may apply. For coverage, consult your health insurance company. Visit the pharmacy or our site for details.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The most wonderful time of the year. Although, let's be honest, around the holidays, things really add up. But here's the good news. Only at Verizon, you can get a single line for $50 per month when you switch and bring your phone. So while ice skating for 2 is definitely costing more, here at Verizon, you can save. Gifts for your third cousins? Steep. A single line with Verizon? Not so steep. A real tree? Pricey. A single line with Verizon? Less pricey. Flights to see Mima and Pops? Those are up. A $50 per month single line? That's down. Even a trip to the Atlanta Holiday Market will cost you more. But with Verizon, you can switch and bring your phone for just $50 per month for a single line on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. All this to say, during the holiday season, when everything is costing more, you can get more for less right now at a local Verizon store. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.